Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today, we're going to expose a guy, a person who, has not showing a lot of respect to the people who actually help him without actually having to help him, and in the process those people who help this individual are also hurting their relatives and their citizen. And I will analyze Mr. Zelensky in an article, and he's going to use certain terms and accusations that really tell possibly who the person actually is, or at least shows another side of the individual. And I was actually pointing out this side, but let's read the article and discuss it. So this article comes from Reuters from May 26, 2022, and this is the title. Ukraine's Zelensky complains about EU divisions over new Russia sanctions. So you see, it's an expression I can't translate it in English properly, but it's like you are a beggar and someone gives you some food because you're starving, and then the beggar complains that the food is he doesn't like that kind of food or something like this. Well, you beggar, you are not in a position to choose, and this guy who fed you has no obligation to feed you. So why would you even bother or dare to call the guy who helps you, spends his money? He doesn't have to do that, and he does it nevertheless, and you complain about it. So this is how I see Zelensky in this case. He is in no position to point fingers to anybody but the Russians, if you really, and himself, if he really wants to point fingers at. But everything else that comes from outside, it's not something that they have to. They do it because they have their own interests, or the population, supports certain aid for this country. It's nothing like that. But he, after tried to use those it's called sentimental blackmail, like or trying to make to shame you if you don't support. This was how it was. If you don't support me, that means you're a criminal like the Russians. If you buy their gas, that's blood money, and then you are guilty of that, so you're just like them. So this kind of kindergarten way of. And I pointed that out, but the mass media continued to portray this guy as the greatest general. Alexander the Great was nothing. Caesar, Julius Caesar, nothing. Napoleon Bonaparte, nothing. Only this guy is the best, man. He's the best. So, Ukrainian President Zelensky on Thursday complained about divisions inside the European Union over more sanctions against Russia and asked why some nations, and this is the word, these are the words, were being allowed to block the plan. So he asked why some nations were being allowed to block the plan. I'm going to use the direct quote, don't worry. The EU is discussing a sixth round of punitive measures, including an embargo on Russian oil imports. Such a move requires unanimity, but Hungary opposes the idea for now on the grounds its economy would suffer too much. So yeah, I mean, Zelensky, I'm sorry, you care for your people, I care for my people. You don't care about my people, but you want me to care for your people. You want me to shoot myself in the foot, imposing an embargo on that country, therefore affecting the livelihood of my citizens, but you don't care about that. I should care more about you. What the hell? And you don't care about me, and you call me names. Really? So see here, and here is what Zelensky said, and please. Uh, Pay attention to the words. How many more weeks will the European Union try to agree on a sixth package? My answer. How many weeks will be necessary? Shut up and wait. This would be my answer, okay? Next. Zelensky said in a late night address noting that Russia was receiving €1 billion a day from the 27 nation bloc for energy supplies. Zelensky is not the bloc, is a human beings. Is a human beings who voted for those people who give you the money from other banks. All right? And some people just print the money like United States and give you the money, okay? So it's not the 27 nation bloc, blah, blah, blah. No, it's human beings over there you're talking about, Zelensky. And then he says, now he just starts nicely because he has to, and then he just takes a dump on everybody. So I'm using the direct quote. Of course, I'm grateful. No, you're not. To those friends who are advocating new sanctions. But where do the people blocking the sixth package get their power from? Why are they allowed to hold such power? Why are they allowed? Well, Zelensky, there are some rules that some people follow, unlike in your country. There are rules, and there is, like everybody, everywhere else, that's more or less, um, how do you call that? Corruption. But, in your country is more corruption than it's in European Union. Your country is what, about 160 or 150 from 193. So yes, some societies are still following rules and laws. That's correct. And then he says, why are they allowed? Is this how a Democrat would speak? Or is this how a tyrant speaks? I think the second option is the correct option. Why are they allowed to? So, okay, what would you do, Zelensky? Would you say, okay, you shut up and you do whatever I say? What do you mean, why they're allowed? Because they have to, because that's how it is in the European Union. They have policies, they have protocols, where they say they have to be unanimity. All of them, Zelensky. What do you try to do? You try to kick them out for you, or unbelievable. I don't even have to go further with this guy. So he's just trying to blame and as why are they allowed? Where do they get the power? They get the power being members of a voluntarily they are voluntarily entered into a union, European Union. And once you enter over there, you enter with full rights, and you're equal with any other country. That's at least what's in the protocol. If you want your country to be part of the European Union, you can't think like that. You have to change your brain. You have to change your ways of doing things, because there are rules. You have to follow rules, Zelensky. Yes. And then, it's just little by little, he's going to show his frustration because not they're backing off. This is my sensation. This is my feeling that these guys are backing off the European Union, NATO, little by little by little. They look for the exit doors, and he figures that out because there are already there are calls from important people saying maybe you should make some concessions, territorial concessions to Russia, which I'm not saying that's right. But as I mentioned in few videos already, one thing is the reality and the other thing is the ideal. We can talk about ideal here. Yes, you might be right in the ideal, in the absolute, in the, I don't know, abstract. But in the reality, it's not like that. You will have to, what are you going to do? These guys are not going to, seems like something is happening. They're not willing to push you. They're done. Somewhere is done. Your army is losing or something. They can send how many weapons they want. There's something happening in the fighting, and the Russians are not broken. They still make money, and if they don't make with European Union, they make with China and India and other countries. So it's not that easy. But where do they get their power? Why are they allowed? This is Zelensky. He said it, not me. Uh, Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.